Well, hello there. I am Kathy Crow. I have always said that my whole life, as this is on the phone. When you picked it up in my geographical region, that was what they taught children. So I always start that way, but I actually should be saying I am. These are the things you don't think of until you actually start looking at yourself once in a while, and it's stupid stuff, okay? Anyway, we're going on. I hope you're having a lovely day. I am. It is very misty, and as in mist-y, and it's kind of warmish, but it's going to be a good day to do cards. Now, I know you can't see this right now, but I'll show it to you in a minute where you can actually read what it says. I've got fun folds today. Now, this is a really fun fold. I love this one. This was in the newsletter. This one is a really good one, too. Has a little pocket for a very nice large note and a gift card. Perfect for Valentine's Day. That's what we're celebrating today because I just know that if you are making cards, you're probably doing Valentine's cards for your grandkids or neighborhood kids, or maybe your own kids. And I don't think I did that for my kids at all. I don't remember making them any Valentine's cards until they were adults and had moved away. But it's possible. I might have. I was more about the chocolate for me and for them, but mostly for me. All right, I have to confess, chocolate is a big temptation for me that I don't allow myself every day anymore. But anyhow, I still get it like once a week, maybe, but it just depends. There's so many delicious things out there. And now that I've been eating healthier, I've learned to really love fruits and vegetables in a way I never have before, and I'm appreciating them much more as well. All right, we are going on. Now, this is the stamp set I am employing today. It's called Enjoying Little Things. I will show it when you can see it better, and it's not backwards as far as the words go, but I do have to warn you, it was current. I don't know if it's still available. It was an online item, and those online items can go quick. Who knew that this one would? But I think it did. But anyway, you can check into it. There are other things that you could use that are labels. And in my newsletter, I think I included a suggestion, for a label stamp set. And I think I've got one down here that's a current one as well. So I'm going to put the camera down. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you share and like my videos. I need to go see if I can. Oh, let me turn this, and then I'm going to see if I can, on that computer that you just saw, I'm going to see if I can find myself. Now, I'm going to find myself. That is something that they used to say in the 70s when husbands and wives wanted to, divorce their family. And here's a nice saying that's always good. I keep it right here because I need to remember this every day. And I added a bit at the bottom. Just, again, to remind myself, because it's tempting to think otherwise when you're not always feeling that great. The problem with feeling is, and I'm not talking emotions, my emotions are pretty good. God is really gracious. He always takes care of me. He always takes care of our family, and I know that intellectually, so my brain stays, as healthy as any human's does. It could use improvement, and that's partly why I know I need God so much. He needs to improve it. I know it's not the best always, but anyhow, it's when you're physically not feeling great. Sometimes that just is really overwhelming. Now, I'm going to try to get my light to be good. I hope it is. It looks pretty good to me. But when I moved the computer, it changed my orientation. So let me do that. There we go. Now I've got it fixed. So you can see on the left, this is the stamp set, Enjoying Little Things. Like I said, it was an online exclusive. So when you go to the website, you have to go to menu, click on online exclusives, and then once you've done that,
you will be able to see, you'll be able to see all the things that are online exclusives. The problem with online exclusives is that once they are gone, they are definitely gone. You won't be getting it back. And the other factor in that is that you don't know always when they're going. I mean, unless you were there all the time, you wouldn't even know that they were going. In fact, you probably wouldn't anyway, because I think demonstrators are the only ones who get to see whether something's, you know, in limited quantities or not. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. Okay, so verse for the day, Deuteronomy 23:5, gives you this promise. Take it, okay? Because God is just waiting for you to ask. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee. Whatever way I think is a good gift to me that I'm asking for, is no guarantee, other than the fact that it's going to be good. Okay, that's the guarantee. It's going to be good. Might not be what I'm asking for, but it still doesn't mean it's not good. So don't lose sight of that. This is actually in the catalog. So let me tempt you by seeing the cards. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, you don't know what they look like on the inside, really. This is Country Corners. It's a stamp and die set that's available in the main catalog, so it doesn't leave usually very quickly. Little insert that I haven't stamped or done anything with. And this is so small that I would only use that for writing, most likely with a gift card in there. We're going to make this little pocket. It's very easy to do. This stamp, though, is like a wood block one that's like super old for me. So you won't see that one. And this is a little step card. Now, I'm making it a little different because I decided to go ahead and attach this to this front today. We'll see how that works out. But it still pops out even if you don't do that. If you just cut it and cut it to fit right in here, it will pop itself up, and it's adequate. You know, it's an adequate pop-up as long as you don't weight it down with a lot of stuff. I've got actually two really large retired, well, this one's not retired, this one's too small for these are retired stitched petal dies from a few years ago, but this is Sunny Day iridescent dots. They're so pretty. I love all those colors, and the orange ones are fabulous for flower centers. But this is a very old, like this went with our daisy set years ago, and I bought a whole bunch because I knew I'd be doing daisies forever. This frame set is part of the Storybook Friends set, so I will use those for you know, writing on. But this is, I've made this one a birthday card. Now this paper is from, so you can see what it's from. This is the Bloom Impressions, and it's in our pre-order, I think. No. This is with our celebration stuff that's going on. So we did this pre-order already. So this is not a pre-order. It's available. In fact, this paper, I believe, is free if you do a $60 purchase. And a lot of it's really pretty. I've got this side out because I plan to use this side as a sky for some landscape, for that airplane set, because it's really cute. And then there's just lots and lots of sheets of very, very pretty flowers. Really pretty flowers. I like the colors they used. I don't always do. Sometimes I do not like their color combinations, and this one, especially in celebration, sometimes it's a real winner, sometimes not, and I end up with a lot of paper that I don't want. In fact, I see a stack, it's about this fat, a stack of this paper, because I went through all of my papers and got rid of all of the ones that I am not going to be using because I've got a lot of paper. So there are ones that aren't my favorites. Some of them are pretty nice, and Jeff's going to take those to the school, one of the schools that is an elementary one probably, where they will use it as scrap or for things. Now, because these papers, you know, the really good ones that you like, they last forever. If you really like it, always buy in abundance. This is my last pack, and I've used some of it, of Sweet Talk. Oh boy, this was with a candy heart set. I loved this set. And so I need to get the actual set out. I have, but I didn't use it in these cards. But I decided I'm going to just sacrifice some of this paper because I really like it. It has the I love me sayings in French and German and stuff on the back. And I love it. I like these little candy hearts because they're cute, and the stamp set has that too, but it is a retired set, so you'd have to find it on eBay. But that's the paper I'm going to use today, and I'm going to use it with Gorgeous Grape, even though the back side of this is Highland Heather, but I think it'll still look good, and this goes better with that purple heart. So that's what we're going to be using today. And I've done a template, and I will explain all about that in a minute. But first of all, let me show you where you can get your own catalogs and heart things. Because right now, if you are planning for next year's Valentine's, you can go ahead and order. But you might have some of these things on hand already. This is the new catalog that's good until April and is brand new. It's got this little ephemera. I need to look up that word to see how to pronounce it. The Celebrate Love Mix and Match. They have some really nice hearts in that and some white ones, it looks like. So that is a set on page 13 of this catalog that has hearts. There's an online stamp set and punch that's really cute. Actually, are they punches or dies? I think they might be dies. Very cute. But that one, the one that I'm talking about, is an online exclusive, so you could find that. But this one, you would have to find that one on the online store. But this is Hugs for Love. It has these nice little hearts. It has a Happy Valentine's Day. Sending you a big hug. That's a good one. Lots of hugs and kisses. You make me smile. You and I make the best team. Very cute. And then there's this wonderful little punch and label. Now, I have a ton of punches and labels. I don't need any, so I didn't buy any but there's a little heart border. And then, so anyway, I'm just saying, this is a very cute set. If you don't already have, I think I have probably at least 3, maybe 4 Valentine sets. This is on page 54. So I personally decided this year I was not going to keep buying things that I didn't need because I like the hearts that I have. They're, it did take me 2 or 3 purchases to find the ones that I like the best, but this is the one I like the best. It's Adoring Hearts. Now this one is in the main catalog right here, page 74. So this is what our main catalog looks like. All right, so there you go. And anyhow, so you can go to page 74 to see what the what that looks like. It's Adoring Hearts stamp set. Has the, well, here, let me grab it here. We've got this die right here. It cuts out all these hearts. So it cuts that one out and then just a bajillion of them. It also has this wonderful embossing folder that I didn't bring out, but it matches this. So you can put this in the embossing folder and just cut out all these wonderful embossed with flowers. They're really super pretty. It also has these little detailed dies of hearts and little ones. And then it has this little heart thing. And anyway, and a label that I've removed. Actually, I probably put it with my other labels in my label thing. And I also, this is an older one that's not available now, but it's retired. This was from Meant to Be, and that's these 2 are my favorite heart things. I do have some other heart things, but those are my favorite. This one is wonderful. It is a polyphotomer. Say that fast. Photopolymer stamp set. So it's easier to stamp within something. So anyway, now you know where to find all of your Valentine needs. Where did I put the catalog I was looking at? I've lost it. How could I lose a whole catalog? Now I put the big one behind me. I also had the little one. I must have just tossed it across the room, or I'll find it. Isn't that hilarious? How do I manage to lose these things? I don't know. All right, so we're going to go on anyway. I have some interesting factoids from, have you gotten any of these? It's from Turning Point USA. It's a little Constitution pack thing you can keep in your purse. And when they sent me a second one, I think Jeff took one to school one time, not here, but I mean when he was actually teaching history, I think he took one. Anyhow, a definition of terms right at the beginning to explain the preamble. I think if we all understood the preamble better, things might make more sense as far as why are things going better now than they were before use. Just saying. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and let's do this step one, because the step one is actually the more complicated one. I didn't even want to try to explain it. I've done the explaining before in a newsletter, I believe, and you know, I know for myself when I was reading it later, after it had come out, and this is probably several years ago. Well, I haven't done it that long, so maybe 3 years ago, but 2, 4, I don't know. Years go fast. I could have barely understood it. Like, are you sure this is, some things you cannot just do that way. All right, these are my leftovers, I think. So I'm gonna put those aside because I've got several things. We're doing the step one. So this is the one I need. This is the second card. And so I'm going to put these aside because I want to still use that, but I need it to not disappear like that catalog just did. Right? It would be helpful not to disappear on me. I also have some stupid stuff to tell you, which you'll enjoy this stupid stuff. It's all about some interesting, fun little facts about things that are in states that are fairly near us. And I couldn't find a fun fact about Missouri. I mean, they had one, but it wasn't that fun. So I'm not doing a Missouri one, sorry. But there were other states in the list that had some things I'd never heard of, and they're close enough to us that we might be able to actually go see it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now make sure you take advantage of all the celebration stuff. You only have till the end of this month, not a lot of time left. And, celebration only comes along a couple of times a year, maybe once. Does it come along once? Who knows? Is it once? I think it's once. I think we get it in this time right now in the new year, every year. And I don't think there's a celebration later no, there's not. So this is a one-time-a-year deal where you buy a certain amount. And this year we had to go up to $60. Okay, everything's going up, so don't be surprised. So $60 will get you a free thing. That was it. So if you wanted that Blue Impressions paper, you could buy this Adoring Hearts bundle and easily have enough to get the paper. Boy, the brain. Okay, so here's my template. I cut it out and wrote all over it. And I'm glad I went ahead and did it again because I had the wrong dimensions. Can you imagine? And this is old DSP that I cut to make sure I could actually make this work. No, this is my first try here. All right, so 9 1/4 by 4 inches. That's what you need. So you want, first of all, you need to make sure you've got your directionality on your paper going correctly. Because you want, the card I'm doing today, the card I did in the newsletter is a sideways. Oh, this is the wrong card. Oh, brother. What a ding dong. Wow. All right, so this is a side opening card. So this is a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 card. And I did it sideways for this one, but for this project, I'm going to do it this way. And I want my little step to come up like this. I don't want to be trying to attach this, you see, and having it go. That won't work. I need this to go up here. So I need to make sure that the directionality of these, since this is the paper I'm going to use today, I need to make sure that, especially this text to me, I want it to be seen, but I don't want it to be upside down. See, like most of those hearts, they're going upside down. So I cannot cut it that way. It's going to have to be cut this way. And I'm going to have to keep track of what is the top, because when you cut these, they're not exactly the same. This fold here for the top is shorter than this fold that goes on the bottom. So you can't just flip it or turn it even. Like if you decide, I ruined it, I'm gonna turn it over and do this. No, because like my paper, this is even more directional. I've got words on it and I don't want those words upside down in my card. And so we're gonna have to, I'm telling this to you, but I'm actually speaking to myself, because this is what I do, is I get distracted and goof off and don't really know what's going on, and problems come about. I'm gonna do my grapefruit, no, my gorgeous grape first. So we want a 4 1/4 card in a portrait version of, let's move these things here, and we want to turn it and score it at 5 1/2. Make sure your score blade, this has been the week for me to be cutting when I thought I was scoring. That has happened to me this week a couple of times, which is funny. Normally it doesn't happen at all, but for some reason this has been the week for that. Okay, so now I've got that done, and I'm going to go ahead and score this one too, because this one is also going to be the same dimensions, but for this one, we're going to go ahead and do the side fold on the second go round. So I'm going to put that aside over here, and then it'll be ready to use. And now we're finally ready for the paper. So you're going to cut this paper 9 1/4 this direction, and it's going to be 4 inches this direction. And I really want to make sure my text me is going to show, and I think my step thing is, it's going to screw it up, because it's not really going to show. I'm going to go ahead and turn this and do the 9 1/4 first, to try to get my hearts to be where I want them to be. So 9 1/4. Okay. 9 1/4. Yeah, that's still not going to do it. In fact, it's going to cut off even more of my purple. Let's see here, because this is what we're going to have showing. Oh, I forgot. This is going to be here, and then this is going to be here. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm just not getting the directionality that I want. I think I'm going to grab it, because I don't care. This is the last of my paper that I'm just using it up. This is old retired paper that I love. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this one. Oh, it ends up being the same though. It's the same. I can't get this heart where I want it. So here's what you do. If you are doing paper and you really want an image right where it's not, you can fix this problem easy too. It just takes a tiny bit of fussy cutting. So I'm going to just do that and we'll fix it. And in that case, since that is what I'm doing, I might go ahead and turn this. No, there's more purple on this side than this side, so I'll stick with this one. So I've just cut it. Let me make sure. 9 1/4. No, I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I need to 9 1/4. I want this hug me up here. So we're gonna go ahead and I think cut this side. 9 1/4. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'm not losing as much down on the bottom as I would on the other side. So 9 1/4. And then you're going to cut the next side turn it and cut at 4 inches. Let's see, I'm going to scooch it over a bit. Okay, and I'm going to turn it and cut it at the 4 I just wanted to get as much of that purple showing as possible. Okay. So when you read the preamble to the Constitution, it's we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, to ensure domestic tranquility. And here's what they have defined in that little thing, because domestic tranquility, I always just think of it as being, keeping the peace in public, but actually and we all know common defense, what that is, and we know what the Constitution is. It's our form of government. It's rules that were well-established principles for our nation to run smoothly. And domestic, of course, just means our own nation. That is, people who are citizens of this nation, right? And so understanding domestic properly is kind of important for the idea of domestic tranquility, because tranquility does mean peace and safety. All right, so we've got this, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is fitting in the way I want it to. So I'm going to have the skinny fold is here, and this longer fold is here. So I'm going to start at the long fold down here, okay? And I'm going to have to turn it to do that. And I need to make sure that my directions are going from bottom to top rather than top down. So I've got score 1 5/8, 3 1/4, 5 6 3/4. So I'm going to check that 1 5/8. I believe that is the little skinny one, right? No, it's not. 1 5/8. So I think that's my bottom fold, the 1 5/8. So I'm going to double check with my ruler to see if that is correct. I know the measurement's correct. I just want to make sure this is the actual bottom. Yes. 1 5/8, because this one is 1 1/2 here. All right, very good. All right, so this is the bottom. That is 1 5/8. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to get this cutting blade out of the way so I don't use it. Score. Now with this designer series paper, you're going to need cardstock weight. This is a very lightweight cardstock weight, but it is cardstock. It's not paper. Once in a while we do paper, and very rarely, but it will say, you just have to read in the, in the explanation for the product whether it's cardstock or paper. But make sure you know, because you can't do a pop-up with paper, and you don't want really heavy cardstock either. Okay, so domestic tranquility is pertaining to our nation, as in the good of our nation. General welfare is safety or well-being of the general public. That's the general public, not the criminals. They've chosen not to be, included in that. They are still here and all that, but that by virtue of being criminals means they've decided to not be part of the protection, because we're protecting the honest and upright people, right? How come we're having this discussion? I don't understand it. All right, so now 1 5/8, that was that one. Now you're going to go 3 1/4. I think that discussion actually should have been going on. Now I am scoring all the way through. Actually, the directions, if I would not have those score lines there, because you can see them. But this is a lot easier to do if you just go ahead and score. Just don't even worry about it, because you're going to glue all that down. And if you really are fussy, you can smooth those down like this, so that they're really just not even hardly seen at all, or at all. It's just going to make it a lot easier to not worry about those score lines. I mean, I can't even see them. And once you get your pop-up things on there, you're not. But if you're fussy about it, you would want to just score the bottom for this first one. score the second one. Anyway, I'm just not even going to bother telling you because you'll get really super confused. We have 1 5/8, 3 1/4. Now we're doing 5 inches. So move it on over to the 5-inch, score, and 6 3/4, and score, and then 8 3/8. 1, 2, 3, 8 3/8. And 8 7/8. This is going to give me just this tiny little edge to be able to attach to the top of my card. That's the little edge that's going to go attaching. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and crease these because I know those are going all the way through. And now what I'm going to do, because I kind of need to see these sides, if I hadn't already got my template, I have my template made with my folds in place. See what, and this doesn't include that top part because that doesn't always, I don't always do it that way. And I have it upside down. No, I don't. Yes, I do, because I want it to go like this. Okay, let's make sure my folds are yes, that's matching. All right, so this is the way I want it. And so here's our folds. I'm going to make sure they are matching, and they are. I did do it correctly. I've cut the slits where they go. And I'm not even going to give you the instructions on this, hardly. I mean, I am on the cutter, but not just telling you, because what happens is you start to get very confused about where the starting point is. All you need to know after you've scored, you have once you've scored, you've turned it so the card is the direction you will want it, pulling it up. If it's sideways, doesn't matter so much because it can go side either direction. It's going to be fine, most likely. But for up and down, you want this to be like this. This is actually, I believe, 1 inch in. And I'm going to go ahead and measure it right now just to be sure that it actually is. It's 1 in... let me see where it actually... 1 1/4. So you go in 1 1/4 to cut this line, and then you go in 2 3/4 to cut this line. But I'm going to be doing it a bit differently than that, all right? So I guess what I can do, since you're probably thinking I'll never remember all of that, that's why you just have to do this along with me. So remember, we cut 9 1/4 by 4. We scored the long side. Okay, that's one word because I'm running out of room. Scored the long side. Well, I'm going to have to double it up anyway because it's a lot of scores. 1 5/8. 3 1/4. Oh, I need to turn my little heater off. It's really pumping away over there. I'm finally warming up down here. 5 inches. And 6 3/4. Not done. 8 3/8. And 8 7/8. Those are all your score lines. Okay? All right. Now, then you turn it so that you've got your little top 1 5/8 and 1 and 3 1/4 folds are here. Okay? And now you're going to go in on this fold. This, not where you folded the top. Don't fold any of these. You want this to all be flat to do this cutting. You're going in 1 1/4 here. Okay, so you can move it on over to 1 1/4 on this side of your blade, 1 1/4. And then you're going to cut on this second fold. So what I do is I mark this side that's going to be down. I take my pen or pencil and I mark exactly where I'm going to be cutting so that it's easy for me to see, because you're going to cut from this fold through this second fold and stopping at the end of this third fold down here. Okay? And then you're going to move over, what did I say this was? So this one, let me write it down, is 1 1/4. So you're moving in from this side 1 1/4, and you're scoring, I mean you're cutting that line, and then you're moving in 2 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to go zip, zip. You're moving here, and now you're going 2 3/4 for this cut. All right, let's give it a go. So, but like I said, what I do is I draw on it. So I'm going to actually, I want to draw my cuts in here. I don't really need to though. I just need to remember where to go. But I do need to see these is the problem. I think I'm going to just use my pencil so I don't have to turn, because the last time I turned my paper, I got it cut the wrong way and I ended up having all kinds of issues. So I'm going to just use a pencil that I can eliminate. So here's a fold. And here's a fold, just because I can't see these folds all that well under this blade. Okay, so there we go. Now I've got my folds marked in a pencil that I can erase, but I can at least see the folds. And I also want to see where I'm stopping. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my little template down here. I'm going to draw my pencil there and there. And then that shows me exactly where I'm cutting to, because this is going all the way to this fold, down to this fold, and to this fold. Okay? All right, here we go. And then I'll erase when I'm done. But this, so 1 1/4, moving on over, this should place that cut right there in my track. It's pretty close. I had to cut these as large slits to get so you could see it and everything, and I could draw through it. So it doesn't have to be super exact. It just has to be close. So see where your fold is. You move this over to 1 1/4. You're cutting through there down. Okay. Now that it's cut, I can, I need a good eraser. Do I have a good eraser? I don't. I need to purchase one, because these are going to like totally mess up my, I don't think I have a good one. I've got a glue eraser. I wonder if you will work. Let's see. Not really. Huh. That's funny. I didn't even think about it when I was doing this. Like, do I have a good eraser? Because my pencils are so old. I don't think. That one's not too bad. Phew. I was scared there for a minute. All right, very good. That got rid of it. All right, now you're moving over 2 3/4. Oops, I am going to have to turn it because I can't see 2 3/4 if I don't. So 2 3/4. And then that should put that cut line right there in my track. It's pretty close. And making sure I cut all the way up. I think I did. I'm going to go ahead and erase my lines. And I can erase these lines now too. And that is that. Oh, I'm glad I've got to put that eraser on my purchase list, because I use my pencils. Anytime I do a fun fold, I usually use a pencil to mark things. There's usually something that needs marking. All right, so now we're gonna fold. So this is the top. This is gonna go down. This one is a mountain fold. Is this correct? Let me make sure I've got it going correct. This is the mountain fold here. Now you don't want to fold all the way across, remember? So the parts that you don't want to fold, take your, where did I put, there you are. Take your bone folder and you can smooth it out. Okay, you can just smooth out the parts that are not going to end up getting folded. And like I said, I didn't even do that because I didn't feel it was necessary, but for you, I would go ahead and do it. Okay, so that one gets smoothed out because we are only folding here. Now here, though, all of these get done. So this one goes in. This is a valley fold on the top. Right there. Okay, but the second one right here is a mountain fold. Make sure it's getting on the part that you want it on. Okay. Let's see which. And then this part is not a fold. This one is not a fold. So we're going to get that one out. Right there. Okay, so we've got that like that. And then this part is a valley fold. This is a mountain fold here on the bottom. This is a valley fold there. And then this top part here is straight. So we'll get rid of our little fold. That one I did really well, so I'm having to use the tip a little bit. Be careful because you can tear it. You know, it is thin enough that you can if you're not being careful. All right, so that's the valley fold. That's the, and this is a mountain fold. So this is a valley fold as well. And then this is the biggest score line that you do really want to get rid of. If any of them, the only ones that really matter are the ones on the top and bottom, and those I think I would get rid of. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, I sure can't. You'd have to have like eagle eyes now to see this after I've smoothed that out. You could even use an iron if you really, you know, are freaking out over it. All right, so now it should fold nicely. If it doesn't, then make it. Sometimes my measurements are just off a hair. You know, when I scored it, it was just off a hair. So I'm going to go ahead and re-score that right where it needs to be because it needs to fold flat. And I know it's sticking out a little bit. It doesn't at all matter. It's going to be fine. But make sure you've folded that and scored it so that it's nice and flat. Okay, now we're ready. So here's your card. And I've got these facing the right direction. I know this isn't, but like I said, we're going to fix that. And this is going on the inside. So what you want to do is, we're going to, actually I folded this the wrong way because I need it to be like this. Okay. Do I even need this on? I kind of forget if I do. I might have trimmed one of those off. No, I didn't. It's like this one's down and this is a valley. So the first fold is down, the next one's a valley. This is the only part that gets glued. But before you glue that, you want to glue the bottom on. So find where you're going to have the card closed. It's got to be in the closed position. Okay. This is going to end up getting glued there, but I just want to make sure everything's inside, and it is. Okay. So we're not gluing this yet. We're just going to glue this part right here. So all this can pop up, and this part gets glued down. I hope you're having fun with this. This is a fun fold. I mean, I know this sounds kind of complicated as I'm talking about it and all, and there are probably other people doing directions for this same fold that would be a heck of a lot easier to follow. But my brain just doesn't work the way theirs does a lot of the time. So I kind of like to just figure it out for myself and go with that. So I'm going to just position this where I want the bottom to be and the top to be. And then I'm going to fold that down to make sure it's all inside the card. It is a little bit off. Let me fix that before it totally gets glued. There we go. Okay. Now, so we're going to lay it flat, making sure this bottom that I've got sticking out a little bit is still fine. You do not want any glue on the top. Like I had some glue on my finger and it went there. So if you have anything, make sure you use an adhesive eraser and get rid of any glue or adhesive. Like there's some glue there. Again, it got on my finger and then it got stuck onto the paper, and that's going to ruin your fold unless you have something stuck there to kind of conceal it, you know, and cover up that glue spot. It's going to just ruin your little fun fold. Now that has a heart there that's upside down anyway, so I think I'm actually going to cover it, so I'm going to let this be dirty right there to show me I need a heart there. And remember I said we're going to fix this. Any hearts that we didn't like the way they were directional, then all you do, I actually have a die I could use to cut these with, but just to show you how quick and easy this is, it's not hard to cut out a heart. These are, the other reason I really like this paper is this is a very forgiving design. The edges are a little rough, so, you know, you can even be, a lot of times Stampin' Up! Does their papers that way. I really appreciate it because then if I am fussy cutting, it's not a big deal. I want to cover that up, so I'm going to go ahead and stick that right there like that. And I could do it like that. I'm not going to puff it up because I just don't want anything puffed up. It's already going to be a little puffed up, and I don't want it to be any more puffed up. So I'm going to just stick that one there. Now I have my text me where I wanted it in the first place. Okay, so now that one's there. And now we're going to put glue here, but just a tiny, tiny bit. You just want a line because you don't want it oozing out at all. Okay? Not oozing. So check it and see if it's pretty near an edge, get it off of there. I'll clean that off my hands in a minute. Make sure this is down. You want it to be gluing on the card right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave that for just a minute while I wash this off my hand. I think I've got a little wipe on the side here that I can use. Let me go turn my heater off. I'm going to have to take my extra sweater off. I've got 2 sweaters on because I'm always so cold down here in our basement now that I've moved all of my crow things down here, my crow cottage things down here. All right, isn't that cute? So it's going to pop up really nicely, very nicely, in fact. I love that. And then I can cover this heart with a, I don't know that I need another text me because there's a text me right there. So I can find maybe this hug me one. Oh, there's a hug me one there. I don't want that one. We'll do the BFF one, even though anybody who gets a card from me that says BFF would really laugh hysterically, probably, because they would know that my words are not being used here. Yes, I have a lot of friends, but I wouldn't necessarily say BFF. It's something I don't even think young people use anymore. It's kind of a dated one, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Who knows? But there we go. So now we have that covering up the upside down one that I didn't really want there. Okay, and you can do other pop-ups. Now you could do more hearts on the side. The only thing about it, if you do little hearts on the side, let me cut another one out so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to decorate all of this on the inside because this is easy for you to figure out how you want just take what you're cutting out and make sure that when it's closed, it's not sticking out of the sides. Like if I stick it here, obviously it's going to be out of the sides, but sometimes, you know, you get carried away and don't realize this is coming down. So if it's large, you know, even if it's like right barely sticking out there, it could stick out there. So just to be sure, but this one's actually much easier to do than some. So now we've got that part done. You could take your, you know, a little piece of white cardstock. You could put your label here. You could put a label here. You could put a label here to write on. Okay, so there's lots of ways you can put labels and whatnot to write on. I'm going to close this down, and we want to do the front. The front is just going to be, you know, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I do want to use the same paper. Let's see if I've got paper, though, that's going to actually work with it. And I could just use, rather than cut, I ended up not even needing to cut into my whole 12 by 12 sheet. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just do a little different design and use this one. It's going to be on the side, and I'm just going to do a piece of it. And I guess I could do a cross, but I don't really like a cross. I think we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do this one. All right, because when you have these papers that have color on it and you've got, you know, one standard color you're kind of going with, you do want to make sure the images that you want are showing the way you want them. And I want more purple. So, and oh, I don't need it to be any skinnier. I do need it to be cut. We're going to cut a little bit off of this side. And then I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. Oh, I don't want to cut all that off, so we're going to do that again. Cut it at 5 1/4. There we go. All right, so we've got that. And then I can even do a little bit more and do a border, or I can just do one border. I think I will do that. I'm going to go ahead and trim this like this. And we've got this paper is actually quite nice, but the problem is the words are on the side, and that's not really going to work for me. So I'm going to go like this. And now I think what I want to do is use my, I could use it and have it on the side. I just don't like, my brain doesn't work that way. I like things to be more orderly. So I think what I'm going to do is get a piece of Highland Heather out. And I'm going to just do a regular mat. So this would be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we're going to see how that looks with my paper on top of that. I think I'm going to cut this off some so that this is matching better. And then I think I'm going to stamp something on the side, or maybe even just use a heart. I think heart dies might be nice. Or, oh, I know. We'll use our hearts and stick them on. How about that? I think that would be really cute. All right, so I just need this to be matching the edge. Let's see if it is. It kind of looked a little bit like it was on the long side. Maybe one was a little longer than the other. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine. All right, let's see here. And if you don't want the hearts, you could do that, and you could do a different color on it. That would have been cute too. I should have probably done that. But the other card is going to show that side. So I'm just doing 2 designs that will fit with one paper. As long as you like the sides of both of the papers. You do need to like both of the sides. That's the only thing. Sometimes these double-sided papers, I like one side and I don't care about the other one so much. Okay, back to our Constitution. Justice, we know what that is. right? We do. We do. Many people do. And liberty, we know what that means. That means, you know, you're keeping the laws of the land and you're not infringing on anyone else's liberty, and you're not expecting them to give up liberties for you just because you want them to. And then ordain, that's appointed, decreed. So we've got tranquility to provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. Yes, they are huge blessing to us, to ourselves and our posterity, right? Our children and their children and their children keeps going. Posterity keeps going. So we established this Constitution. The preamble's pretty good. It's got some really good concepts right there. You don't even have to look very far to find them. Now, I do think we can use these words in a way that might be really fun. So let's glue this one on the top. And you could just emboss the side, and that would be quite nice as well. You wouldn't even have to do any stamping on it. I kind of like sometimes to stamp things, but today I will not, just so we're saving a little bit of time. I do want to get to that other card. All right, very good. So we've got that glued down. And then I'm going to use this to do my little hearts. And I think I might just do my little hearts out of this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get the embossing thing over here. And then these are the little heart guys that go with the Adoring Hearts set. And I don't need all of these. I'm going to just use these little ones. And there's 2 of them. I'm not going to use the lace ones. Okay, let's see here. We want love and there we go. So we've got those 2 showing. I want to see what this is going to look like. Okay, we got that, and that. Okay, we're gonna go like that and that, and then let's check this out. I think these actually will fit. They will. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a hug. Yeah, let's stick to the purple. The purple. That one. Oh boy, I hope you have this paper. Was this a celebration paper as well? As I ended up with quite a bit of it. Now it didn't cut it perfect, and so I'm gonna trim here. But it was close enough. And then I am gonna need a bigger one to be a background for those, or you could use a square. But I think I'm gonna use one of my bigger ones. This one should be bigger. Let's check it out. Yeah, it is bigger, and it also matches the size of that heart. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put these back. There's the little ones as well. And I want my dark, gorgeous grape for this part. So let's grab a piece of gorgeous grape. And we will just do, I'm not going to do a whole bunch. We're going to just do a few. That's going to kind of stick out on the side. I'm going to just do these bottom ones. Very cute. Very, very cute. All right, so are you ready to hear what the stupid stuff, my stupid stuff that I found about the states, some of the fun things that are in states that you probably had no idea. And I sure didn't. So here we go. So here, let's start with, oh, I didn't write down what state this was. I think it was, oh, it was Alaska. In Alaska, have you heard of the Annan? It's spelled A-N-A-A-N. Annan, I assume that's how it's pronounced. It's a bear observatory, not a conservatory, a bear observatory. And it says you can see them pretty well. You view it from a platform and a blind. So you've got a good place to take pictures from, and you can snap away because they won't see you. It's a platform in a blind, and it's situated above a cascading falls where salmon jump right out and into these bears' paws. Isn't that cool? So I'm not sure where in Alaska that is. It's the Annan, A-N, Bear Observatory. So I'm going to put this here and just see if I'm going to like this. So we've got that one. We've got this one. I'm going to have to trim that up a bit because I don't like that. And then this one. All right, like that. I'm kind of having to go. I don't want to hide that one. That one's too cute. Maybe let's go on the side here. Go there and there and there. And then I'm going to do my label. I'll do a label here somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but I didn't want to cover up my text to me. I guess I could, though. It's not that big a deal. Let's see what happens if I do that and that, because I actually wanted that on that side. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's going to be fine either direction. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the other side and get those things covered better. So if you are a Alaska lover, or you live near it, or you like to vacation there, check that out. And then also in Arizona, let me trim this better because I didn't before. Get that trimmed down so we don't have any white on the edge. It's outside of Phoenix. Actually, it's far outside. It's 315 miles outside of Phoenix. But it's Monument Valley. Now, I've heard of that. You've probably heard of it. I don't think I've ever been there, though. All of us have seen tons of pictures of it because it looks so cool. It really looks neat. So Monument Valley and Phoenix, we actually go by there anytime we drive not through Phoenix, but we're pretty close. Anytime we go to California or Idaho even, can go that way. All right. There we go. So that's that. And then you want dimensionals, of course, to do this with. Those are my minis. There's the big ones. Monument Valley. Love that. It says there's a 13-mile scenic loop you can drive around. That's nice. Jeff and I am too. I mean, at first it was him, just because of his feet issues, I suppose, mostly, and that he never told me about. I just thought he was not enjoying the hikes. He's a silent sufferer. And so put these on here before you get going too far. You want one in the middle. Okay, we're going to do this one in the middle there. The text me one that's slightly different. We want this in the middle of our card, like that. And then this one, get these the same equidistance approximately from the top and bottom. Matching where you want them. So cute. Right, like that. I like it. It's cute. And now I can put a nice little sentiment here if I want to. But I'm going to just not worry about it too much right at the moment because I do want to get on to our next card, although it does kind of need a label, doesn't it? Now, so here's the Adoring Hearts. Doesn't really have a label per se in it. So I am enjoying little things. Now you've got a nice circle. That's a happy birthday one. I don't want to do that one. But you also have this one. And I think this one had dies with it. I don't really recall, to tell you the truth, because I didn't buy them. I knew I would be fine with just fussy cutting it a little bit, that I was probably going to be using it. And at the time, I knew this was the one I was going to be using all the time. So I didn't really even worry about it. But that one does have the happy birthday on it, so you really can't use it that way here. But we can use this label, and I'm going to pull it out and see how big it is. Because I might want to do something other than that. Because that's the way that would look. If I stick a label there, it's going to be like that. I actually quite like that. So I think if it were me, and I thought about this earlier, I would have gotten my vellum. A white vellum label here so you can see through it. Would have looked really cool, but I didn't do that, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. And I'm going to use my Gorgeous Grape ink for it. If I can find you, Gorgeous Grape. This is one I don't use as much, so it's kind of like on the bottom. Where are you? Highland Heather. I know I have Gorgeous Grape. Where are you? There you are. Oh, it really was right there on the bottom. Let's see what this ink looks like. Now, these photopolymer ones, though, unlike our clings, sometimes they get a little askew if they're skinny like that. So stick it down, put your block on it, and lift straight up so that it's keeping the shape that you want it to be. Oh, good. This ink is looking good. Let's see if it's going to stamp well. It is. So we're going to put this on here. All right, so I've got that. And then I'm going to do my sentiment in there on Gorgeous Grape. And we'll have to get my Valentine's one out. I hope it'll fit. Otherwise, I'm going to find a Valentine. You could still do enjoy little things in there. You know. You could do sending, you know, or you could do may your love be filled with, and then we'll find a love to go in there. We've got a love here. It's just that it's pretty big. Oh, to my Valentine, that won't work. With all my heart will work. I adore you. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do with all my heart. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. There you are, with all my heart. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to put with all my heart here, and we want the word loved there. So let's see if the word loved will fit in there. This one actually won't. Sending love with all my heart. That'd be good. Yeah, this one's not working out. I'm going to go find one really quick. I've got so many stamps right here. It will be easy for me to find something that has the word love or loved in it. So let's look here. Love you so much. Love with all my heart will work. So we're going to use the word love in this Flowering Tulips. These are smaller, so... And it is a photopolymer one. That's just kind of the only thing that's super important, is finding a one that is clear so you can see what you're doing. So we want the word, just the word love. Inked up. Looks like I inked it pretty good. We're going to do that right in the middle, right there. All right, and then, so here's another one from, oh, this is from California. Now, I'm going to have to look. We go to California fairly often, and yeah, if it's not anywhere near Los Angeles, we'll never go, because I want to see my grandkids. I don't care at all. I love flowers, and this is a big giant poppy field. It's called the Antelope Valley Poppy Reserve. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I know we've seen pictures of it. We all have. It's really cool, and it's amazing. Okay. But again, like I said, I'm not going to go see poppies when I could see my grandkids. Yeah, I love flowers, but not that much. But if it was close to Los Angeles at all, that would be kind of neat. I'm going to keep my gorgeous grape handy. All right, now I do think this embossed would be wonderful. Really wonderful. What kind of an embossing folder, though, should I use? Because I don't necessarily want I want texture. I don't want anything too deep either, because some of these have really deep texture, and I don't want that. I want like subtle. Subtle is one of my go-tos that I use for everything. So let's see if I've got subtle handy here. I'm not seeing it. Where are you? Are you a big one, a fat one, or a skinny one? So I don't really remember. The music one's cool, but I don't think that will work very well with it. I'm just not seeing it, so I'm gonna have to just grab any old texture one here. I'm seeing so many, but not what I want. I hate that. And that happens. We do have a diamond one that's pretty new that I have out, or is it a star? Oh, it's Starstruck. That one, that's not going to work. I don't want anything like that. And I'd like it to be not too deep and more random. Come on. I know I've got texture. Where are you? I'm looking in the texture place. Why can't I find the textures I want? I must have moved. Oh, I bet you I moved them. I bet you I moved them to my little basket over here, because I was having this problem earlier and thought I've got to have these handier. And so I have this little metal basket hanging on the side. Yes. And I'd forgotten that's where they all were. So here's Tasteful Texture. That one's perfect. But Subtle would be even better. Old World Paper. Where are you, Subtle? Scripty. Oh, Scripty's good. I don't see Subtle. Isn't this nuts? Because that's actually the one that I probably use more than anything else. You'd think I'd have these in order, but I don't, apparently. Exposed Brick. Now, I don't even know what ones we have anymore in the catalog. It's so hard for me to keep track of what's what. You just go and see what there is. And when you find something you like, hang on to it. Just hang on to it. I guess I'm going to have to use Tasteful Texture, because I can't even find the Subtle. But I know I have one. It's just, I'd have to hunt it down. But Tasteful Texture will work. If it ends up being too textury, then, oops, let's get it going the right direction. There's the label, so that's the front. If it is, then what you want to do is just use that bone folder again. It works for everything. Anytime you need to smooth something out, you just use your bone folder. Now, oh, I do need to change my plate out, since this is an embossing deal, not cutting. So I'm getting out my embossing plate. This is a regular plate, my folder, and then this blue one is my regular embossing folder cover. But if you have a super fat one that's like a really big 3D one, then that blue one will work. You'll want to use your regular one. All right, very good. Love that. That texture is really pretty. Now, I think I am going to try to go right against this. Like I said, there was a punch, I believe, that came with this set, or is it a die? I think maybe it was a die. I don't know. Maybe it's a punch. Doesn't really matter. But then that would cut this. That would eliminate this step of fussy cutting for you. But it is possible to do this if you're trying to save some money because you don't have, or you just don't want. Like those punches take up a lot of room. And, you know, you have to be able to kind of store them so that you can see the side to see what the design is, to remember to use them. And, yeah, I prefer dies myself because they're just a much easier way to store, and I can actually store it right in the stamp set that it goes with. I don't do a lot of punches anymore, and initially I did, but that's because I was trying to avoid buying dies, period. I did not want to get into the die cut world. But because it's so beautiful, I got sucked in. We all do. Those of us who make cards, eventually you will probably just succumb also to the die thing. All right, here we go. So here's another one, the Hagley. Now, I love gardens. They're beautiful, and I didn't do the state. It's the DuPont family. Is this Iowa? I think this might be Iowa. I'm not sure where the DuPonts come from, but their ancestral home and garden and museum is open to the public, and I did not realize that. Maybe this is North Carolina. I can't remember. I didn't write it down. And the Hagley, though, you could Google it, and it'll tell you right where it is. And it's a pretty big garden. It's a really big garden. It has lots of roses, I bet. That'd be beautiful. I used to dream of going to England to the English gardens, but I've given that up because I don't want to do, I'll never want to fly like that. Now, isn't that cute? And then you could do more of these hearts inside too if you want to, but it's a very cute little fun fold. The next one's super easy, so we're going to fly through it. This fun fold, oh, that's the one we just did. So I'm going to put this with my little tutorial thing on the side, so that I have my template and all ready to go the next time I do it. And then let's find all these pieces here and throw away my trash. And we'll whip through the next card. Very, very slick and fast. This one's much easier because it's just this pocket. And I've actually cut it all already, so we're all set and ready to go. Oh, this goes with my, that's part of my template on that other one. So we took our 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and we turned it on its side. Okay, and then you're going to take your paper. Now your pocket is going to look like this. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that the design, I did not do it right. My hearts aren't going the way I want them to. So you want to make sure that your hearts are going in the direction that you want when you cut it out. And so anyhow, hopefully this time I screwed it up on that one. Oh, I have an extra little heart here. How did that happen? Oh, it's the one I cut out. We'll hang on to it. All right, so we've got our cutting board. You are going to, so put your paper in the direction that you want it. Remember, it's going on the side. Let's see if we've got any of these purple ones going on the side. I'm not sure that we really do. No, they aren't. So we're not going on the side. We're going to go up and down. I was going to have this go sideways. I'm going to alter it. So my instructions have this little note card going like this. But now that I'm looking at this this paper, oh, that can go sideways there. That one. Okay, good. We can get it sideways. I just needed to turn the paper more. This side, none of these other sides will work, really. Just this side. Okay, so you're going to cut it. Let me get my measure. This is going to be 5 1/4 this way, and this is going to be 8 1/2 this way. So make sure your paper is the direction you want it. Now remember, one side is going to fold down and one side has this little punched out spot. So you want to make sure that it's going to be folding, you know, the direction that you want, and it's still going to have this upright. Like this is going to have to fold down over, okay? I hope that makes sense. So I need 8.5, and I want this to be in the middle of my little pocket. So the length of it is 5 1/4, and I'm going to check that because that doesn't look like 5 1/4. No, it isn't. It is actually, oh, it is because I've got this to do an actual pocket with. All right, so let's look at this. So it is 5 1/4. Okay, so let's see where that puts us. 5 1/4. Good. This is here. Perfect. And the fold's going to be here. And then that's going to be the back side. That will work. So 5 1/4. I'm just, as I was saying that, I'm looking at these hearts to make sure the fold part coming down is going to be in the front. So 5 1/4. And then 8.5. Okay, so you're going to turn it, and 8.5, cutting off the area that you want to cut off. And I think I want this lower, so we're going to go 8.5. I'm going to turn it this way and see what it looks like. 8.5. Yes, that will work. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. Oh no, that's too short there. I'm going to cut this top off a little bit. Although it's not going to matter so much on that side of it. And we're going to cut this side 8.5. Yeah, that does work out much better. I'm going to go ahead and cut a tiny bit more again. All right, 8.5. I'm just trying to get this pocket to be where I want it to be. Okay, 8.5. Did I do it right? Yes, I did. Okay, so this is the front right here. And then we're going to score the long side. Okay, so score the long side at half. Make sure you find the bottom of your pocket. Which side you want to be your pocket is going to be where the half one is. Okay, so this is the bottom of my pocket. So I'm putting it on the halfway line on the side here, half. And then we're going to go 4.5. Okay. And that's going to be just fine. So 4.5. And now you're going to score the side. Now you want to make sure it's the correct side. So this is going to fold down like this. Actually, I don't need one on this side. Do I? Yes, because it's this one. So I need this side here on the right on my pocket. So this is my pocket front. Okay, it's going to fold like this. And this side is going to be scored on this side of this front pocket piece a half. Okay, 1/2 inch. All right, so now you've got this for your pocket, and your pocket's opening this direction, so you're going to cut out this piece here. Now, yeah, that's correct. My pocket's a little shorter than I expected it to be. Why is it shorter? Oh, because I didn't score that. I actually scored the front instead of the back, but I'm still going to have the room that I need. So I'm not sure why I did that, but I'm going to go ahead and trim this. So it should have been, because this is going to fold like this. So I actually didn't need it to be quite as long as I did do it. This is 3.5. 3.5. I'm going to give you a corrected measurement here in a minute because this is my pocket. All right, so there is your pocket. And instead of me cutting it at 8.5, I ended up cutting it 7.5. Okay, I'm going to correct that. I actually wanted the bigger pocket, so I'm not actually going to correct it. I'm going to have to just make a note of it that 8.5 is fine, but you need to score. You need to score your middle piece from. Anyway, let's see, what was my error? It was that where this middle was scored. So 4.5 is fine if you're scoring it from, see, I scored it from the bottom of the pocket up, and I needed to actually score it from the top down, is why that got screwed up. And so I could correct it, but I've already cut it now, and I'm just making it smaller, but that was the error, in case you're keeping track. All right, so now we're just making this pocket. It's very easy to do. Just take your scissors and clip out the corners. Okay, this one as well. Okay, this one we're gonna fold in like that, fold in like that. And then we're gonna not glue it yet. I better get the punch and punch. I'm using a 2-inch punch for it. You could use half of a die, whatever you wanna do, but a 2-inch punch will work really nicely. So get it between these two folds, put your punch in here, square it up. There we go. And then you're just gonna put some glue or adhesive. If you're using glue, don't use too much. And to make this easier to cut, I should have trimmed that corner off too, but I didn't. On this one, I'm gonna leave that flopped up. That's gonna make a nice little pocket there for it. All right, very good. So there's your little pocket. Where's my cleanie rag? I must have thrown it away. Grab another one. Every time I glue, I get glue on my fingers. All right, so we've got that. I guess I should get my cardstock out. So that was the pocket. And then our base card, is again, I did do it already. Excellent. And then we're gonna do, so this is gonna go in here like this. You could do it like this, but I wouldn't. It would make it easier to slide it in and out, but this is actually gonna having it here is gonna keep the card in, okay? And then you just want to have your front piece is going to be like this. Okay. I scored a lot on this because I was practicing with my pocket to see what size I wanted. And I actually wanted a smaller one. So we're going to go ahead and do it this size, even though this is slightly smaller than I originally intended. So but it's just we're going to measure it. It's 3.5. So that means I just need 7 by 4 3/4. Okay, so 7 by 4, and we want it sideways. Okay, so this is going to be 4 3/4, and I want to make sure I can see this, but we're going to go 4 3/4, and then 7. That's going to be upside down. I want it to fold this way, not this way. But I want the words to be right side on the inside. So I need it to be like this. So that being the case, oh, I need to see this text me. That's the text me I need to see. So when I'm looking at the 7, is it showing? Yes, it is. So we can do that 7. Oops. And then scored at 3.5. All right, so now this is your little front piece, and you could do it either way. I kind of like this side better. Okay, so we've got our pocket, and we've got, this is a little flappy fold. And then I'm gonna lift it up. These I'm keeping. I will put a piece of white to write on there. Okay, the front of the card just needs to be 4 3/4, oops, 5, and I don't have a big enough piece. Did I cut it all up? I've got all of my paper all cut up all over the place, so I'll probably have to figure out what I'm doing with that. Let me get my cardstock out of the way. I might have another sheet in there. We'll see. I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fine. Let's just glue this in. Now that our pocket is all done. You know, gift cards are really nice to send, but who does it anymore? I mean, I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't send gift cards like this anymore because you text it to their phone. It's much easier for them to use. And so yeah, as nice as the idea is, I don't end up using these for gift cards. I do like to take the pockets and put in nice notes, and you know, I don't use these for actual gift cards. They're called gift card design, fancy fold or whatever. I don't use them for gift cards. Do you guys do that? Do you use them for gift cards? Maybe I'm the only one who's not done it. But I think partly it's because they've gotten cheated. My recipients have gotten cheated out of cash when they have an actual gift card. That doesn't happen otherwise. So here's the measurement here. You're going to want a 4 by 3 inch piece of white cardstock to write on. Let's see if this is 3. Yeah, it's not. That's a scrap I was hoping I could use, but it's not big enough. So we're going to go ahead and have to cut it. Now, I'm not going to cut it because I'm going to want to use a die. That's a rectangle die, and stamp it, cut it, and stick it in there. Okay, but I want to get done here. We're getting late on time, and I want to get the front of this card done so that you've got plenty of room to write in. You've got room for your pocket. Your insert in here is going to be 3 inches by 4 inches. Okay, and let's see if we can do, aha, excellent. So we're going to need to do, none of my scraps are going to be big enough. This one is. I'm going to just check really quick. Oh, maybe I do, but actually, let's do a border. And then I won't have to even worry about any of that. We'll just do a little border. So we've got like almost a 1/2 inch on each side. So we're going to go ahead and do 3, let's get a 1/2 inch going here. We're going to do a 3.5 cut on this one. On my scrap, so 3.5, and this is 4 3/4, and we're going to put a mat under that, and I think we'll go ahead and use my Highland heather for that. If you have enough cardstock to do, you could even use the border, you know, of that, but I don't want to do that. So we'll use my Highland heather, and we need this to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, and then that's my border piece, and then that goes on this piece, and then you've got your, just do another label, and you are golden. So fun. So you've got some really cute little cards going here, and you didn't even have to work very hard for them. You know, these are the kinds of cards that you would not be able to buy in the store under $5. And that's in a cheap place. If it was an expensive card spot, it'd be a heck of a lot bigger than $5. Why is that? I don't understand it, but things have gotten really expensive. Anyway, because it's just paper. All right. It's because of the labor. It's not the paper. I mean, paper has gotten more expensive, but not a ton. It's actually just the labor of making the card. So you can do it. You can do the card and save yourself the money. And you can make as many cards as you want. I've got so many cards, so I'm always ready at the drop of a hat to give away cards and to send cards. It's really nice to be able to do that. So you can take your die, you know, and cut out your heart, or you can cut another one. Now, there is some really pretty paper. I think it was available, but I'm not so sure that it still is, but it might be. It was a Valentine's one that I think it was at one of the specialty, when they do specialty designer series paper, which is DSP, when we add the word specialty to it, means it's got some silver or gold or something really cool like that. So we're going to go ahead and put the Hug Me on here with a nice little, where's my scrap? With a nice label. All right. We're going to do Enjoy the Little Things. Because I really like it. It's cute. Oh, wait. May your day be filled with, may your day be filled with love. That's what we're doing. All right. So may your day be filled. I'll do that part first. Oh, I don't know if my circle's big enough, so let's do this. May your day be filled with, and then we get the word love, and we're all set. Oh, I need that. Don't need that. We could use the hugs and kisses, and since that's right here in this set, I think I will. Hugs and kisses. You could use a different color if you wanted to. I'm going to put it up here like that. There is this cute little starburst or sunburst, maybe is what it is. That can go here. If you do that, let's use a different color. It's going to have to be saffron, so saffron. If I can find you, there you are. Because I think that's what the yellow is in these hearts. It's probably so saffron, and I want to have it stamped off. So I'll use my scrap because I don't want it to be strong. So this is called one generation. If you stamp off and then stamp, okay, that's a one generation. And then if you did stamped off 2 times, that'd be a second generation. I'm just doing that to fill in that extra blank space that's going to be there when I do the punch. Okay, so that little starburst is in here. So again, enjoying little things. I hope this stamp set comes back, since I think it was probably pretty popular. I don't know. I don't usually pick out the popular things, so I was quite shocked that it was gone. If it was, maybe it wasn't even. Here's the 2-inch one. I think That's going to be a little large, but let's just see. No, it's actually pretty good. It could probably be smaller. I'm going to go ahead and get my 2, and I've got another one in here. That one was the 2 1/4. I think this is going to be too small. This is the 2 3/8. Oh, that's why it was so big. This is the 2, and it's a little bit small, but it's going to work. Why aren't you cutting? Huh, that was weird. Let's try it again. I've never had them stick like that before. Oh, you ding dong. You're ruining my label. Oh, for heaven's sake. Why are you... How did you get bent up? I've never in my life ever seen that happen before. Now it seems to be working. That was weird. I mean, super weird. Maybe when I moved, I had heavy boxes or something on it. Whew, it's working. That was really bizarre. It was locked in the case, so I know it was able to close, and it definitely wasn't closing, and it kind of messed everything up. I didn't get as clean a... Okay. Got that. This is going to go here. You really need to have a mat around it, so it's going to show up. So we'll get that 2-inch one out. Now these were on the clearance. The 2-inch one was, I think, or was it the 2 3/8 inch one was, I believe. And then you want a nice little ribbon. Okay, so just take any little ribbon and put in between here or under here is fine. I like to do it in between. It's kind of cute, but for now I'm going to just glue here and not worry about it. Okay, so we've got the glue and all that. Okay, so there's another garden, a beautiful one in Central Florida. Oh boy, this one has also the Bach Tower Gardens. Freddie, you are the one that I was thinking might know about this place. It's what's it called? It doesn't even give me the name. No, it is. It's the Bach. It's B-O-K. The Bach Tower Gardens, and the tower itself is amazing. It's a 250-foot or 205-foot tall tower. It's called the Singing Tower because it has the world's finest carillons. I love the bell choir stuff. The bells, the big bells, you know? I mean, how awesome is that? It says there are concerts and the carillons fills the gardens with music at 1 and 3 p.m. daily. It just says Central Florida, so I don't even really know where this is in Florida, but it sounds wonderful. Now you can take your little Hug Me if you want to and stick it on here somewhere. It's kind of cute. So let's do that. Since I cut it out, I might as well use it. Okay, there we go. Aren't you sweet? So now you've got your nice little pocket. You can write in here, put your insert. You can have a gift card or not. And you're all set. Get all this stuff cleared. So those are the 2 cards that we did today. I hope you enjoyed that little fun fold and that you have a good time making your little pop-ups that are going to pop up here when you make that card, because I do think those are pretty cool. And I'm going to turn my camera around. Thank you so much for joining me. I do really appreciate all the things that you do and your prayers and all. I'm feeling pretty good. I could always use them though, because I always am worried about my cancer coming back. So like all of us, anybody who has cancer, keep praying for them, because even if you don't talk about it, you're always a little bit worried about it, of course. So anyhow, I know that the good things are happening, and I hope they're happening for you too. Hope you have a wonderful week. It's supposed to be pretty warm and nice here, I think,
this week, and then the end of this week, it'll still be nice. And then I think next week we're getting some, snow. This will be the last, hopefully. That'd be nice. And it'll be gone in a couple of days, so I can't whine about it too much. And it is February. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I will see you next week. Bye.